Right, good morning, Ben. So I'm just going to ask you some questions. So to start off, where are you at the moment?
So we are currently transiting the Panama Canal. We've just finished our race from Seattle, so that was just over 4,000 miles we travelled to do that. And yeah, it was 28 days, so it was quite a long leg and very varied. We started in quite cold weather and then it warmed up, the wind got a lot lighter, but weirdly we actually got a lot more rainstorms towards the end of the race as well. But yeah, so and then we've just had a couple of days in Panama where we've been provisioning the boat and so on, and now we're heading through the canal today, and we're on our way to the Atlantic side, ready for our race to Bermuda.
Great, that sounds fantastic. So what's been your highlight so far on this race?
I think there's been any number of really fantastic experiences we've had. So I think probably something that really stands out for me was a lunar eclipse. That was really amazing, just a really beautiful natural sight. The wildlife has been really incredible. We've seen some fantastic things, loads of dolphins, which is great. Also turtles, manta rays, backflipping manta rays of all things, which was not something I realised was a thing until we saw it. And some really beautiful phosphorescence in the water, which it's like these tiny little sparkles, and when they're coming out behind the boat, it's like riding a magic carpet. It's absolutely fantastic. So so I think those have been fantastic, and just the team as well. It's been really nice kind of working with and getting to know a team of people. When we get on the boat, I didn't know anyone before I started, so we were all strangers, and the fact is we've gelled into a really excellent team, and so that's been a real highlight.
Okay, we'll come back to teamwork in a moment. But I mean, how are you feeling? Because I'm kind of getting the impression that you must be pretty shattered.
Actually, after a couple of days off, I've recovered surprisingly quickly. I think a lot quicker than I did after leg six. Leg six was really draining. This leg was a little bit more gentle physically, and that was a welcome break. Still very hot, yeah, we've had to kind of work with temperature on the opposite extreme of being too hot rather than too cold. But actually, all things considered, I think we're in good shape, and we're really sort of excited and looking forward to the next part of the race.
Now, I understand that you're the vigilant for the boat, which means that you put the menus together and you do all the shopping. So you're either going to be loved or hated, I would guess. So what's been the crew's sort of favourite snacks or meals from everything that you've been buying?
So snacks are always popular, so biscuits go down well, peanuts went particularly well. We have crisps on board, we have lots of hot chocolate, so hot drinks is always a big deal, and we've invented the 3-2-1, which is 3 teaspoons of hot chocolate, 2 teaspoons of milk powder and a spoonful of sugar. Probably not very good for you, quite possibly induces diabetes very quickly. It tastes really good though, so I can recommend that. And we have a special treat once a day where we get a proper fresh ground coffee rather than instant, and so that's a really nice highlight as well.
Almost sounds like luxury. Now let's go back to teamwork. Can you tell us about the teamwork on board the boat and just how crucial it is?
Oh, absolutely key. So I guess the same as any kind of a business setting, what we're trying to do is achieve a goal, but we can't do it alone. So these boats are designed to need lots of people to run them. So from getting sails up, you have to lift them up a hatch, which is above head height, so you need multiple people to do that. So you've got real physical challenges, but you've also got some really crucial kind of timing challenges. So for example, when we jibe the spinnaker, which is our biggest sail, then you've got this kind of, it's almost like ballet of this beautiful timing as the sail comes forward, and one person has to let go and the other one take it in at just the right time. You'll see there's a very large container ship just going past behind me as I talk. So yeah, proof, if any was needed, that we are indeed on the Panama Canal.
Does the teamwork on board the boat remind you of work back on dry land at all?
Yes, it does. There's definitely similarities. There's some differences as well. It tends to be, I guess, it's more physical, the challenges that we face on board. They tend to be kind of shorter, briefer, so often anyway, at least when it comes to sailing the boat. But we also need to working together as a team, and having good relationships with the team is really crucial. When you live in a very confined space as we do, the fact is that and you're together 24/7, the fact is it's very easy for disagreements and misunderstandings to happen, and so as a result I think it's really crucial that everyone kind of works hard on their relationships with the other members of the team. So and I guess that applies in just the same way as it does when you're in an office environment, but it just tends to happen in a slightly shorter time frame, so everything's quite quick on the boat.
So I'm wondering, are you missing the day job?
I'm missing elements of it. So this is obviously a really exciting experience, and I'm loving it. As I say, I guess the some of the I miss some of the more intellectual challenges of the day job, where things are maybe over a longer time frame and need more thought, whereas this tends to be more short term. So in that regard, then that'll be fun when I do get back and get back to a day job. But absolutely, I think at the moment I'm really just enjoying this experience and trying to make the most of it.
Great. What's your top tip to get the best out of the team, especially in rough conditions on the boat?
I think the best thing you can do is try to get the basics in place. So if you can make sure that people are fed and they've had enough sleep, and ideally that they're not either way too cold or way too hot, by providing sort of sensible rest breaks and stuff like that, and then make sure everyone understands what they need, what's expected of them. And I think if you can get those two things right, so getting the people in a state where they can perform, and then make sure that they understand what they're expected to do, then for me I think that's really the key for having a successful team.
Okay, and finally, what's next in this race?
So in a couple of days we'll be leaving Panama on the 3rd of June. And we'll be setting off for Bermuda, so that is a much shorter race, so it's around about 10 or 11 days, about 1,500 miles, something like that. And we'll be charging up there. What's quite exciting is our team have decided to play their joker, which means that we will be we effectively get double race points for whatever we achieve, so we'll be pushing really hard for a strong position. So that's going to be good fun. We can only do it once in the race, and this is when we're doing it, so that's going to be really exciting. We'll be heading up to Bermuda, and then from there on to New York. So it's going to be a really exciting month through June as we race so much closer to home.